have a Facebook? Have you thought about the privacy you put at risk? The Facebook allows users to post their favorite music, books, movies, their address, hometown, phone number, email, clubs, jobs, educational history, birth dates, sexual orientation, interests, daily schedules, exactly how they are related to friends, upload pictures of themselves, and even political affiliations.
But Facebook, the social networking site, has come under the spotlight again over its privacy settings. An EU privacy watchdog claims its changes to privacy settings last year are unacceptable. The Article 29 Workers' Party claims that the privacy default changes were introduced to the detriment of the users, alleging that Facebook users who accepted the defaults in a pop-up message found that more of their information was available to everyone or to members of bigger networks than before. The Information Commissioner's Office issued a statement saying that all users should think about who may be able to access their information before posting it online. However, it added that social network sites such as Facebook should take more responsibility and make sure privacy settings are easy to use and access. So next time you log in, make sure you think you're in a public as well as private space.
If the idea is essentially I should be able to crawl the network with any degree of vigor I like, and anything I find about you is fair game for me as an employer to review, that's problematic.
It's online, but is it public information?
Once it hits the internet, there's no saying where it's gone.
It's public. It's like leaving your diary lying on the park bench.
I don't think that employers should be reading Facebook or MySpace.
Stuff that I don't think I'd want my employer or my school to see.
Clay Shirky teaches new media at New York University, and he says social networks are profoundly changing the definition of what we consider private.
And interestingly, the defaults for all of these things are set to increase social awareness. It's not we're defaulting to private and we're letting you make it public. We're defaulting to public and letting you make it private.
Shirky's thoughts are more than just notes scribbled in a lecture hall. The industry insider turned professor is often called on for advice by major companies such as Microsoft and the BBC. We sat down with Clay to discuss the impact that social networks are having on privacy.
What are we going to say as a society about looking in on other people's lives? If you show up at a job interview and they say, oh, well, we've been following you on Facebook, I'm not sure that that's something, you know, the employer's argument, in as much as they've been looking at Facebook, is anything that is accessible to me is also acceptable to me. And that seems unsupportable as a social bargain. You go down to the mall on any given day, you can find a group of teenagers hanging out in the food court.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can sit next to them and listen in, but you're the weird one in that situation.
Right.
And so in the real world, we carve out lots of places where you're in public, but you're not in public, right? If you were to sit up here with a shotgun microphone and point it down at Rockefeller Center and be listening in on people's conversations, well, they were out at Rockefeller Center, right? How public is that?
Right. What expectation of privacy did they have?
Exactly right. And yet, if they knew that someone was listening in with a shotgun mic, they'd be a little weirded out. The most seriously negative consequence of this is if somehow as a society we don't carve out some space for documented personal action that's okay, then we will really have robbed young people of something they won't even know they're missing,
right?
Because they never leave the net of surveillance.
Its privacy policy even goes so far as to state it also collects information about you from other sources, such as newspapers and instant messaging services. This information is gathered regardless of your use of the website. Think that's scary? The Facebook's term of service states, by posting member content to any part of the website, you automatically grant, and you represent and warrant that you have the right to grant to Facebook an irrevocable, perpetual, non-exclusive, transferable, fully paid, worldwide license with the right to sublicense to use, copy, perform, display, reformat, translate, excerpt in whole or in part, and distribute such information and content, and to prepare derivative works of, or incorporate into other works such information and content, and to grant and authorize sublicenses of the foregoing.